up, everybody? Me and my little brother and myself have been talking for quite a little while about trying to figure out a way to kind of do some things together, because I feel like we both feel like we've been blessed to have so many gifts, and we've really tried to figure out a way that we could submerge those things together and really do some things that are really dope. So this podcast that we will be doing every week will be one of those things. We got some other things we're trying to create as well that will be content based, but today is the first episode, so let us get past the mishaps or things that might happen during this time, but just vibe with us, ride with us. Whatever you deciding to be doing on the other end of that camera, we appreciate you being here with us for however long you decide to. Let's get into it. So today, our first beautiful episode, we will be talking about mindset. All right, and so with that, I'll give you a question, my beautiful black brother.
What's up?
When did you become aware of how important your mindset was to how you create?
It really happened when I was 24. You showed me a video. It was The Secret, and that just connected with me because of what I've gone through, what I've experienced. And it really brought an understanding of why I was experiencing what I was experiencing in life. And so once I realized the power of my mind and the importance in my responsibility to my own mind, it was then, I realized that what I put in my brain is going to basically create the pathway that I walk, And so that's when I found out,
That's
Same
dope.
question for you, Brian.
Oh man, I think I really got introduced to, I think the power of my mindset when I was getting Rihanna out of foster care. And I really had to face myself in a way that put me in firm position of having to deal with something that was out of my control. But the only thing that I truly had control over is how I thought about it, and the continuous thought about it. I mean, there were so many circumstances that happened, situations that happened that led up to that let me know I had the power of thought. But that really put it front and center for me that it was real, that if I decided to really adjust and be aware of how I think, that I can actually set the tone instead of trying to walk into a place like dress for somebody else's temperature. You feel me? Like if I want it to be sunny in here, I'm a dress for the cause. Like I'm changing the temperature because of the way that I think. If I want the pressure to be raised, it's only because I'm creating the pressure. You know what I'm saying? And it's so crazy how long I lived with allowing other people and other situations or other phantom beliefs to create that pressure and to build that mindset for me. So it's been a few different scenarios, man, but it's been a wonderful thing to be able to see our growth and change in mindset and how genuinely rare it is to see. So when you think about mindset, man, what are you talking about? Because a lot of people talk about mindset, but they kind of just glaze over it, and they don't really get deep with it. And for somebody like yourself that I know that really does his research and really dives deep into the source of things, what do you feel is the best description of mindset for you?
I feel like mindset is really, really basically what it sounds. What it sounds like is what you set your mind to. what are you thinking about? What is the energy of your thoughts? What is the energy of it? I feel like that's the mindset, and really a mindset is basically what creates the pathway. It determines what direction you're going in. It will determine what your future will look like. Mindset is basically the pathway you set your mind on.
I don't know if y'all got that. But also, if y'all do have any questions that are centered around mindset, if we catch them, please shoot them up there, and we'll answer them for sure. But mindset is, like you said, I totally agree. Mindset is something that it sets the stage.
Yeah.
You know, for what your life looks like.
Yeah. Good,
bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
And you know, the special thing about it is, I think when God says that we have freedom of choice,
right there, choice.
I think the mindset is where the freedom of choice is. Not in the actions, but in the choice of how you set the tone. Because it's like, and this is not a biblical thing by no means, but just in reference, you would want people to have the mindset of Christ, to not follow the steps, but have the mindset of Christ, right? So to be in a position to say, I have a mindset that is so strong and I believe in so true that regardless of circumstance, trial, or what someone else does to me, I still willingly have the choice of my mindset to create my own space of what I decide to do next.
Yeah. A lot of people are dependent on what is physically happening, you know, and I fall victim to this as well. It's truly every day it's a journey, and really you got to respect the journey, but feeling according to what they're perceiving or what they think they see in the physical world, instead of deciding what they're going to think and feel despite what they physically see. It's like when we are led only solely by what we physically see, then that is where we're going to go wrong. Because in all reality, what we physically see is based off our perception. It's based off our ideas, our mindset. What you set your mind to will determine your perception, will determine how you see the world. You know, and so if you are neglecting being aware of your mindset and being conscious of your mindset, then it's going to be conditioned with all the experiences of your pains, your insecurities, all the things that you don't want in your mind. Is going to set your mind, and it's going to move you in a direction of fear, of insecurity, of lack. If you don't set your mind, this world will set it for you. This world is conditioned to set your mind according to how they want you to be. If you don't do the work, then they're always doing the work. Yeah. And it will set your mind, and wherever your mind is set, so you have to pay attention. You have to be aware. You have to, because if not, you're being controlled. You have to choose. That's the power. Yeah, that's the power, is to choose. You have the right to choose which direction you are moving on a very deep level, and that's a beautiful blessing. To be able to choose your mindset, and your mindset that you choose will determine your future. Like, that is a blessing. But go ahead.
No. I think that's something that I think that's so lost in where we are right now.
Yeah.
Is that we still have control.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And so much happen, it makes us think that we don't.
We don't.
Yeah.
You know, and if we decide to change, it's like I know a couple dudes, and I've made a couple speeches like this before, but I got a couple homies that are robbers, right? And so their mindset is stuck on the opportunity to hit a lick, right? Whether it be in a parking lot, they might see a car door unlocked, see something when we walk in through a store that they can easily get and be able to conceal before we get out of there. Whatever it may be, a wide range of things it could be. And it's like, it instantly like dawned on me, like, that's his mindset. And whatever his mind is stuck on that's literally what he sees all day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every day, that's literally...
His mind is constantly looking for an opportunity.
Constantly, right?
Yeah.
So then we got to ask ourselves, every day we have the choice, when we open our eyes, when we get that gift, what mindset are we choosing to pick up? Are we choosing to pick up the mindset of lack, choosing to pick up the mindset of lack of opportunity, circumstance, situations, lack of friendship, fear of love? What kind of mindset are we picking up? Are we picking up the mindset of triumph, relentlessness, tenacity?
And a lot of times you got to be aware. You have to make a conscious choice. If you want to stand in your power, your God-given power, you have to consciously choose, because this world is not going to condition you to be that way. It's not going to be that way. You have to choose to be courageous. You got to choose to be powerful and commit to it. And also understand it's a journey. Because if you don't respect the journey, you're going to give up. You're going to say, dang, I guess I can't do it. I guess I'm not strong enough, blah, 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 because it's like this. And you got to be so passionate and so about that life, about living in your truth, that you stay on it. And if you fall off, you get back on it. You never stay off. You got to continue.
Well, see, the bad thing about it is a lot of people, it's like everybody should have like a competitive nature, just a little bit. And so even in the sense of acknowledgement, a lot of us want the acknowledgement to glorify the mindset. But it's like, even if we know as black people, like, we are the best. Like, for instance, let's say if we are the best basketball players on the planet, all right? We cannot expect people to tell us we are the best basketball players. We still have to play the game. We still have to play the game. So it seems like we get lost in wanting to be told, well, black, you nice with it, you cold, you got to stop. We still got to play the game. Ain't nobody gonna change the system. We still got to play the system. The choice is, even when I hear like single fathers or black men talk about the system and how hard it is, it's like, bro, I went out to Olathe, right? There's a system there, right? And if you show up and meet it, you are connected to a power with a mindset that is greater than the system. But if you don't decide to play the game, they're never going to tell you you can beat them. Right? But if you come with a mindset that I cannot be beaten, it is impossible to be beat. So if everything is about changing the inside first. Everything, before we can talk about what somebody else does to us, police brutality, like, all of that is horrendous. But how do we treat ourselves is just as important, because that is also connected to a mindset. How you look at yourself and how you look at people that look like you is also a mindset. And so if we can get
a mindset of self-love,
man, so if we can get passionate about police brutality, we should be able to get just as passionate about the destruction of black people. Because it is
of ourselves.
Because it is a mindset. I don't want the destruction of disease, lack of thinking, police brutality, white people or us. Across the board, I don't want it. I don't want it. And so we got to really get down to the source of it, right? So okay, let's get mad, like really real with it. What was the biggest struggle for you to overcome switching that mindset?
Just switching that mindset is then you have to go up against, in a sense, that thing you created, that mindset, that old mindset that you've created. When you now make a decision that you want to be different, you now have to face that. Now you have to experience that, and now you have to pull that. Now you have to experience that pull, that tug of war, that game of tug of war. And you start to realize just actually how powerful you are, because once you go up against that, you're going up against your own creation. And that experience, that back and forth, I realize just how difficult it is. You know what I mean? How real it is. How how much a mindset is instilled in you on a very deep level, and it inspires you and controls you in ways that you're so unconscious too, that like the mindset will determine the thoughts that come in your mind each and every day. Like, and we are so used to being on autopilot and not thinking about it and just looking for a distraction from our thoughts. See, we ignore it, we neglect it, and we don't realize just how much power is expressed each and every moment through that. And when you say yes, it's going to be hard. It's not easy, but it's simple. Like, it's not complicated. Once you really understand, it's not complicated, but it's hard only because we have moved ourselves away from our truth. We have agreed to things that are not a reflection of us. So I realize that this journey is something that is every day, because it's not easy. It's not easy, and I have to love myself on the journey. Because a lot of times when people are not doing what they feel they should be doing, they're hard on themselves. They discourage themselves, and I fall victim to it as well. I do it too. You start to downplay your own power, and you start to not believe that you have the ability. And we start to look for validation, and we start to look for someone else to give us permission. Give us permission to do what God has already given us permission to do. It's hard. Like, it's not easy. But when you realize who you are, you can't stop. You can't go back. You can't. Like, it's hard. It is. But I know for a fact that I will keep getting on. I will keep getting on this ride. Because life, when you have that control, when you are at a place of love and abundance and peace, like, when you know you can do it yourself, that when you learn that what is your responsibility and you accept it and say, yes, okay, I take that as truth, that's my responsibility. When you get to that point, you cannot strive for that life.
Right.
What? You realize that's the only point to live, is to live freely and abundantly, powerfully, because that is absolutely who we are.
Right.
But in order to live in the blessings that God has given us, we must set our minds on the things each and every day, as much as you can, because if not, this world is going to have you believing that you ain't shit, that you ain't nothing, that you are less than, that you cannot do it. The world will teach you that. The world is teaching y'all kids that they can't do. That's why it's important to set your children's mind on love, on abundance, on peace, because if not, this world is constantly. And y'all feel that? Y'all feel that resistance trying to keep y'all stuck, trying to keep that hold on y'all? Y'all feel that. But you got to keep on nudging. You got to keep on pushing. You got to have that aggressiveness, because it's hard.
For sure.
And you got to be persistent. You have to. So you got to be about it. When did you realize that you was actually about it? And you was like, I ain't going to give up. I'm going to keep on regardless.
I don't think that didn't happen to me for a while.
Yeah, I feel you.
I can remember as a kid, not really having, a compass at all about what is a proper mindset, or even knowing what mindset is.
Right.
What is a way to think?
Yeah, right. That didn't even come to my brain.
It wasn't a thing that was something that I even thought about. So I was at the whim of seeing aggression, right? And feeling aggression, whether it be our dad dying at a young age, not having many father figures, or whatever it could have been for me at that time, and me making a choice to take the easy road, and being a really, really, really angry person. At the drop of a dime, and that was my mindset for a long time, and how I committed to it. Like I was so ready to be mad about anything. It didn't matter what it was. And so when you talk about battling that old person, like I still battle that old person, or even people still seeing that old person in me, regardless
of what they physically see now, and expecting you to be the person that they have decided that you was.
Absolutely. And so I didn't really realize that I really was about it until I started to see some things shift in my life. And shoot, that didn't happen a couple years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So how were you able to stick with it and still not be about it? How'd you keep that connection?
Because it was a strong inkling that I was already thinking like this.
Okay.
Before I got the knowledge, I had already got like little hints that I had the power to attract in small doses.
Yeah, so that was enough to
enough.
At least to hold on, even if you weren't feeding it.
Correct.
It just
correct.
And that's the key. Sometimes we just gotta keep it there. You know what I mean? Somehow keep it, because whatever you keep, you water. You know what I mean? Whatever you keep, you feed into in some type of way. So as long as you keep it inside and keep on slowly feeding, it grows, and you actually become really committed. And that's the same thing with my art. It's like, it was just that consistent saying yes. You know, even if I said yes one week and said no all the next, but then the next following week I said yes again. You feel me? And just keep practicing on my yes, because the more you say yes, the more it becomes a part of your mindset. It becomes because what you set your mind to, you naturally move in that direction. And that's what you want to do. And that's why it's important to set your mindset on your passion. You feel me? Because then you condition yourself to move towards what actually makes you happy, what actually makes you feel good. So it's, and that actually brings so much to you, so much fulfillment in life when you actually set your mindset on your passion, and set your mindset on just the love and the peace and the joy that you want. But it just reminds that is why it's important. Because the more you do it, the more you become it, and understand that it's not gonna always be hard. Because it becomes easier, right?
Well, it definitely becomes easier once it becomes a habit,
right?
But I like challenging myself. I think one of the greatest things that helps me in my continuous elevation of my mindset, because it's not honestly, I don't want to be set in anything. You feel me? Like, I want to continuously be in a place of growth. But I like challenging myself in situations to figure out how can I pull out the best version of myself. My mentor has a saying, will the real Ryan Harvey please stand up? Right? Like, when that Marshall Mathers song, the real Slim Shady, he always is like, with a real Ryan Harvey, not the ego, not the scared person, not the angry person, but the real you. Can that person stand up and be willing to accept challenges, face things fearlessly, right? Do things willingly, give lovingly. You know what I'm saying? And even when you don't get those things back, are you still willing to do those things and know that it's not about the other person, but because I am so willing to challenge myself, that you just happen to be the vessel that tested me, right? That still doesn't stop me from answering the question correctly, right? So I just like challenging myself, man, and in that, I found I'm really about it. Like, really challenging myself, because I then see where my control lies. I see where my power lies. It's not in their choice of what they do to me or what situations that happen to me, but how I choose to think about it or how I choose to move with it. That's where my power is. And so I continuously challenge just myself every day, right, to be in a position to face the mountain and get past it, whatever it may be. And so I think it's just so important. I know in this time of personal development, everybody's talking about it, and what ways they need to develop, but it's gonna be ugly. honestly. When you first start, it's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be challenging, but it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be every bit of that, because the other side of that is gonna be every bit of what you hope it to be, and then some.
And so it's about creating your heaven, you know. And when you create your heaven, you kind of got to go through the hell you've created, you know, and just really push through that. But on the other side is heaven.
No,
How?
no doubt. So what are some things you do to build that mindset?
You know, for me, I connect with my journey and what I've gone through, dealt with mental illness, and so obsessive thoughts has been a thing that I've actually saw the power in, you know, and what obsessive thoughts do, you know, continually thinking about a certain thing over and over again. I've taken the journey to obsession, from an idea to an obsession, and with that journey, it made me connect to my thoughts. So I make sure I spend time consciously with my thoughts. You know, I like to walk and just speak life, and also listen to affirmations. Also, write. Also, it's just really about, for me, really instilling that programming me to move in gratitude, to move in peace, speaking that over my life, because my goal is that, because I want my thoughts, these thoughts that I am consciously having, I want them to naturally come. I want them to naturally come all throughout my day. Thoughts of love, thoughts of peace, thoughts of abundance, thoughts of joy. I want that to be the narrative each and every day. So I want to move to that with obsessive thought, you know, with really speaking it. And then also taking time for silence, taking time to quiet everything, and really just being still, you know. But I really believe in speaking life over myself, and really using the power of thought, you know, and the power of feeling it, and also the power of seeing it, you know, manifesting, you know, the law of attraction. So I see the power in the words that I use, because it was words that got me to obsession. You know, it was just normal thoughts that I just consistently kept having, that turned into something that took over my life. Took over. It took over my life.
I think I was the direct opposite. I think my lack of thinking. I think my lack of thinking overcame my whole life. And I was like a person that was smart that did dumb shit. Right? Like, man, you don't even seem like you're thinking. Why would you even do something like that? You know what I mean? And so I think it was easier not to put myself in a position of accountability. And that became like literally the source of my mindset of like, what can I do to not be accountable? In what ways, what things could I go out of my way to do to not deal with myself? And so I think in every choice sets the tone for a mindset. But once I truly decided to really like deal with me.
Now connected to task 2020.
When I truly decided to deal with me, that's when I was in a position to thoroughly be able to really address my mindset in a real way, in a very, very impactful way. And again, it's really honestly about challenging yourself.
For sure.
Facing yourself in the deepest parts of you, because your mindset all derives from some maybe great times, probably a lot of bad times, and how you decided to think about those bad times. And like my brother said, the perception or the perceived bad of that time, and not adjusting yourself, and how, shoot, I got so lost in, man, my dad wasn't here, or this wasn't happening for me, or I wouldn't feel like I loved in this way. And so I felt like I spent so much of my life trying to be validated. Like, instead of like really taking the time to validate myself. And when I say that, people be like, what do you mean by validating yourself? But like, honestly, taking time to really see what I'm good at. You know what I mean? And really, really taking the time to craft those things. And challenging myself within that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think people have a mindset about anything, whether it be money,
Sure. Your mind will be set on something.
Anything.
It's going to be set.
And so, you know, I maybe don't spend my life so much on the peace and love tip, because I like the feathers ruffled a little bit.
I don't need to ruffle my feathers anymore.
Yeah, I like that sometimes.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, you know, I speak what I want to live in. You know, I speak what I want to live in. And you know, I do feel like even speaking that is going to ruffle feathers. You know what I mean? Because some people don't want to believe in love. Some people like that. Some people don't want to believe in peace. Some people don't want to believe in the power of your words, you know. So even me saying that is going to, because when you speak, it's really going against other people's perceptions and ideals, and people they defend that to the grave. Like they're very passionate about protecting what they believe is true. Correct. And expect other people to also believe it's true as well. So I focus on that because I've dealt with a lot of fear. You've dealt with other emotions, and really we all have our own journeys, and so we all take our own specific pathways to our spiritual growth. Correct. And development, and everybody should. Because everybody's journey is different. What they connect to, how they communicate, all that is different. And so for me, dealing with fear obsessively, dealing with anxiety, it's made me just want serenity. It's just made me really want to be in peace and loving myself, because I've spent so much time not loving myself, giving me reasons why I shouldn't love me, why I should downgrade my value. I've always dealt with not feeling good enough, you know, and it's just like one of them things. It's like I don't want to deal with that anymore. I don't want to experience that life anymore.
There's a quote, excuse me for not remembering the name of this dude, bro, but the quote is, "The man that says that he can and the man that says that he can't are both right." Right? And so that's a mindset. That's a choice that you are telling yourself about whatever it is that you desire. Literally, can or do you believe or do you not believe that this thing is possible, that you can manifest this? Because that is, your mindset about that is where the true power is. And so, bro, I'm excited to be doing this with you. A lot of people honestly have been wanting us to do some things together for a little while. A lot of people wonder what were the things that got us to the point where we think and do the things that we do.
Yeah.
So it'll be good to be able to be as vulnerable as possible.
Yeah.
In these moments, to be able to really give some people some things that might help them.
Yeah.
You know, because we don't know who might be watching and who might share it. You know what I mean? So, if you got anything else, bro.
Yeah. I just want to encourage people. You know, I'm grateful that we're doing this finally. I feel like things happen in divine timing, and one of the things you just have to trust and surrender to what you've already spoken over your life and what you've said you wanted, and really allow the universe to take you on the journey to that manifestation. And although at times we wanted to do things, at times it was just talk. But it was easy to kind of feel some type of way about just talking. But beyond all that, it's all about timing, you know, and really just trusting that your time is your time, you know, and know that if you trust in that and really surrender to that, things is going to be exactly and even more than you imagine. And so I'm grateful that we're here doing this, because I believe that it's important that we use our voice, and it's a reason that we are passionate about developing ourselves, about aligning ourselves up with who we truly are. It's a reason, and I'm grateful. You know, I think gratitude is very important, and I work on gratitude as much as I can. So I'm grateful, and I want power. I want this podcast to be powerful, and that we really inspire people to actually see their potential, to see what actually lives inside of them. Not even potential, just the reality of who we all are. You know, I just encourage you to continue to just commit, even through difficulty, through trying times. Just continue to say yes, even when you don't know what to do, how to do it, where to go. Just say yes. Just say yes. Even if saying yes is just out loud, I'm saying yes to believing in myself, loving myself. I just say yes.
Did you watch? Have you watched Jim Carrey? Yes, man. That's what you said. You sound like dude. Hey, you remember dude? Yeah.
No, I remember. And he sprinted to him.
And he like this.
Right. Just the way he looked is dumb.
He said, "Come on, Kyle. What do you say?" Yes, man. Yes.
But it's real. It's real. It's real. I know it sounds silly, and I didn't realize it, so appreciate that. Shout out to Jim Carrey. You feel me? You know what I mean?
He
Yes,
walking
man.
around, no man.
Hey. Just say yes. Just say yes to you. Just say yes to you. Say yes to that mindset. You know, that mindset of trusting in you and loving in yourself and being the best that you can be. We like computers. All you got to do is continue to program that truth. Program what you desire to feel and desire to experience in life, and keep saying what?
Yes, man. Yes.
Keep saying
what? Yes.
That's all I got.
Yes.
Exactly. Keep saying yes
that
to
is
you.
Hilarious, dude.
Word up.
But no, I just want to challenge everybody. You know, just be great. You know, and
say yes. I'm just playing.
Say yes.
Right, go ahead.
Between that and poetry, we got it.
Right. Shout out to poetry too. All you gotta do is say yes. Don't deny what you feel. Let me undress.
Okay.
My bad.
Yeah.
That's the job.
All right.
That's the job.
I mean, that could be a song if you was talking to yourself. But
Word
anyway.
up.
Anyway.
It got freaky a little bit, didn't it?
It did. I was like, we about to set the tone.
No, that's not the tone. That's not the tone we want.
But anyway, we appreciate everybody that watched our first episode. Like I said, every Wednesday.
Yeah.
What we doing? 2:22.
2:22. We was late.
2:22. We was late. Our apologies, but 2:22 every Wednesday from here on out.
Word up.
We're gonna be coming with stories, vulnerable situations
Yeah.
about different subjects around personal development.
Yeah,
And
like the experience, the journey, yo.
you know, and the things that have helped us get to this point.
Word up.
And beyond. So
Word
we
up.
appreciate y'all. We're grateful for y'all.
Thank y'all.
And episode 2 coming next week.
Boom, shakalaka.